1962 Cincinnati Reds season. The 1962 Cincinnati Reds season was a season in American baseball. The team finished in third place in the National League standings, with a record of 98-64-31, 2 games behind the NL champion San Francisco Giants. The Reds were managed by Fred Hutchinson and played their home games at Crosley Field. The Reds entered the season as the defending NL champions, having won the 61 pennant by 4 games over the second-place Dodgers. The Reds' lineup returned intact, although sophomore Leo Cárdenas was set to replace veteran Eddie Kasko at shortstop, putting the versatile Kasko in a super sub role. That all changed in spring training when slugging third baseman Gene Freese broke his ankle during an intra-squad game and missed virtually the entire season. The light-hitting Kasko was moved to third base and played well, but the Reds sorely missed the 26 home runs and 87 RBI that Freese had provided the year before. The lack of Freese's big bat severely hurt the Reds' chances to repeat as National League champions. The Dodgers and Giants dominated the National League most of the year, with the Reds a distant third. Aided by 2 expansion teams, the Houston Colt 45s and the New York Mets, the top NL teams were winning at a very high rate. By June 6, Giants were 40-16. 714, and the Dodgers 40-17, 702. The Reds were playing solid baseball themselves 29-20, 592, but still trailed the Giants by 71/2 games and the Dodgers by 7. Cincinnati stayed a relatively distant third for most of the season until a 9-game winning streak Aug. 5-13 drew the Reds to within 61/2 games of the Dodgers and to within 4 games of the Giants. By Aug. 25, the Reds had crept to within 3 games of the Dodgers and 31/2 games of the Giants, thanks to a 6-game winning streak. The Reds had made up ground on both the Giants and the Dodgers, who had finally started to fade. Los Angeles lost star pitcher Sandy Koufax to a finger injury on July 17 against the Reds. The lefty missed 58 games and approximately 13 to 14 starts before returning in September. The Giants came to Crosley Field to play a 2-game set with the Reds. Sep. 12-13, the last time the Giants and Reds would meet. The Reds won both games to pull to within 3 games of the Giants and Dodgers with 13 games to go. With first place within reach, the Reds went on a crucial 9-game road trip to New York, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, but won just 3 of 9 games, going 1-2 in each city. Meanwhile, the Giants also initially stumbled down the stretch. After leaving Cincinnati, the Giants went to Pittsburgh and promptly got swept in a 4-game series at Forbes Field, which marked 6 straight losses. San Francisco righted the ship and won 7 of its last 11 to tie the Dodgers at 101-61, while the Reds were 3 games back. In a 3-game playoff series where the statistics counted for the regular season, San Francisco beat Los Angeles 2-1 to win the right to face the New York Yankees in the 1962 World Series. The Reds finished with virtually the same winning percentage, 605, as the 604 that was good enough to win the NL pennant in 1961. Reds right fielder Frank Robinson followed up his 61 MVP season with another monster year at the plate, slugging 39 home runs, third in the NL, 136 RBI, third in the NL, and his .342 batting average was just 4 behind the Dodgers' Tommy Davis in a race for the batting crown. Robinson also led the league with 134 runs scored and a 1.46 .45 OPS, while he was second in the senior circuit with 208 hits and 380 total bases. Robinson finished fourth in the NL MVP voting behind Maury Wills, Willie Mays, and Davis. Bob Purkey emerged as the Reds' staff ace with a career year, compiling a 23-5 record while pitching 288 innings. Purkey was third in the NL Cy Young Award voting behind the Dodgers' Don Drysdale and San Francisco's Jack Sanford. Purkey also finished eighth in the NL MVP voting. Offseason. October 10, 1961. Outfielder Gus Bell was drafted from the Reds by the New York Mets in the 1961 MLB expansion draft. December 14, 1961. Pitcher Marshall Bridges was traded by the Reds to the New York Yankees for catcher Jesse Gonder. December 15, 1961. Pitcher Dave Stenhouse and catcher Bob Schmidt were traded by the Reds to the Washington Senators for outfielder Marty Keough and pitcher Johnny Klipstein. Regular season. Season standings. Record vs. Opponents. Notable transactions. May 7, 1962, Bob Miller and Cliff Cook were traded by the Reds, the New York Mets for Don Zimmer. Roster. Player stats. Batting. Starters by position. Note: POS equals position, G equals games played, AB equals at-bats, H equals hits, AB equals batting average, HR equals home runs, RBI equals runs batted in. Reserves. Note: G equals games played, AB equals at-bats, H equals hits, AB equals batting average, HR equals home runs, RBI equals runs batted in. Pitching. Starting pitchers. Note: G equals games pitched, IP equals innings pitched, W equals wins, L equals losses, ERA equals earned run average, SO equals strikeouts. Other pitchers. Note: G equals games pitched, IP equals innings pitched, W equals wins, L equals losses, ERA equals earned run average, SO equals strikeouts. Relief pitchers. Note: G equals games pitched, W equals wins, L equals losses, SV equals saves, ERA equals earned run average, SO equals strikeouts. Farm system. League champions San Diego, Mackin.